So I'm here with our resident Ross Poldark, Jeremy Weiss, who's an expert on the use of the Austrian scythe. And we manage our grass round here with a scythe for various different reasons, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But first we want a demo from Jeremy, who is well known as an expert, and because of that we know that what we've seen on telly is not how it's done. So let's have a look, Jeremy, see how it's done, and then we can talk about why we do it in a second or two.
Sure. Okay, I'm just going to very quickly sharpen up because this is actually integral to the scything. You can't scythe with a blunt scythe. So I've got a very fine stone that I use to hone the blade every couple of minutes or so to keep it absolutely razor sharp. Okay. Right, now then, let's try not to cut anyone's legs off. So as you can see, the grass ends up neatly on one side and we end up with a nice clean cut.
Perfect.
Because the blade has been kept along the ground the whole way
Flat
through
to the
this
ground. And that's perfect because a lot of this we're going to use to feed our cows, so we're making hay, so it needs to be turned later on. But the popularity of the use of scythes has increased no end in the last few years, hasn't it? Can you tell us a bit about that?
Well, absolutely. I've been doing this probably about 10 years with the scythe now, and yeah, I've really noticed a big increase. We have scythe competitions around the country. I just got back from one actually on the weekend, which was wonderful. So yeah, they have gained a lot of popularity.
And this is because, one of the reasons is because of the management of biodiversity, which is considered very important. If we leave the grass to grow long, we're going to have new species come in, insect life is increased, bird life is therefore increased, so you get a whole different way, your land behaves in a different way by leaving wild patches, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So up at my small holding up next door and here on yours, we tend to manage the grass. We cut a little bit here and a little bit there, and we leave areas to grow longer, and of course then different species go to seed at different times, and it encourages a wonderful diversity.
Different mix of species. And
yeah.
And as, also we're cutting down on the use of lawnmowers, which is really good, so we're not using so much of the
Can I just
fossil
ask you
fuels.
though, why is it called an Austrian scythe?
Well, there's the traditional English scythes are very much more crude. They're a lot heavier.
Was that the Allen side?
I'm not sure if they're called the Allen scythe, but yeah, the English scythe, they're much heavier things. The Austrian scythes are much smaller and lighter and more carefully manufactured, and so they're much easier to use for people who are doing small areas.
But one of the things is, the really important things is the time of cut, isn't it? Now we're in the middle of June, and this is pretty much optimum time, not just for making hay, but also for the management of the grass itself.
If you leave it too long, then once the docks start going to seed, they get very hard, and then you have to do a lot more sharpening. The wind and the rain come and knock the grass flat, and then it's very difficult to cut. So beginning of June is a really good time.
Which is a time that you'd be cutting a hay meadow anyway.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I mean,
So
with the tractor you can get away with leaving it a bit longer, but when you do it by hand, it's, as I say,
Perfect.
it's nice to do little bits here and little bits there, isn't it?
Can I ask another thing? Could you use it in a garden if you had some wild patches? Can people start leaving their lawns to go a bit wild?
Certainly. I mean, if you want to help the bees, that's probably one of the easiest things you can do, is to not to cut your lawn on a weekly basis, and then things like clover dandelion, they're wonderful for the bees. And with a scythe like this, you can scythe it down really easily, maybe every 3 or 4 weeks instead of once.
And how do people find out how to learn about scythe? Because I know you do the Devon rural skills, don't you? Is that one of the things you teach?
Not on the Devon Rural Skills Trust. That's more hedge laying, dry stone walling, and those sort of crafts. But Probably the first port of call would be to go online and look up the Scythe shop, which is run by Simon Fairley, and there's a Scythe association now as well, and you should be able to find a course in your area.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
we've been managing the grass here with the scythe for about 5 years now, and the diversity is shot up.
Yeah.
We make excellent hay as long as the rain stays off, and we're grateful for the scything action. It's a bit more action, maybe.
Thanks, Jeremy. So can you just say something about the action, because you're actually sort of using your whole body, aren't you?
Yeah, it's
it would be quite easy to do it wrong, I guess.
The sharpening is very, very important, but the actual movement of your body is crucial. You need to
Molly.
use your whole body to turn, rather than just your arms and keep your body still. You need to use your whole body to get behind each stroke, like that, and you need to keep the blade on the ground the whole way through the stroke and the whole way back. And you can also get acceleration by shifting your centre of gravity halfway through the stroke, like that. So I shift from here all the way through to here, and that helps to accelerate the blade through the grass. Like that.
Great. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming down.